What's up, guys? Just a quick heads up that the music was blocked in this video due to copyright, so I have muted the audio. However, I have provided a link to the song in the description, so you can open a new tab and listen to the song alongside with my reaction. Or you can just join me on Patreon for unedited footage. But for now, enjoy the video, guys. Please, please, please open your eyes. Da, 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 da. What's going on, you lovely people? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. My name is Justin, and today we're taking on side 2 of Tarkus, their album, Tarkus, which was released in 1971. So a while back we had listened to the title track, the first side of the album, and you guys have been waiting for so long for side 2, and I decided, let's just do it all in one go. Why not? What's the holdup? I could do it one by one, but let's just knock Tarkus out of the park. Hope that you guys are having a lovely day. Thank you so much, by the way, for always recommending me new music. I appreciate it. A decent amount of the music that I enjoy now, I would not have discovered without you guys. So seriously, thank you. I may not get to every request. As a matter of fact, I'll never get to every request. But you guys have introduced me to a wide world of music. So thank you for sticking with me, for commenting and giving me recommendations. ELP being one of those bands. I would have never listened to them if not for you guys. So thank you for being here. Thank you for spending some time with me. It's going to be a longer video. Hope you don't mind. It's Long Song Saturday, where I try to do slightly longer songs than the usual. And even though this is not technically one long song, you know, this video will be a little bit longer than the usual. Anyways, you can join me down in the comments as always. I'm usually down there floating around somewhere. Maybe not right as soon as the video comes out, but eventually I'm like a phantom. I make my way through. You can also follow me on Twitter if you'd like. You can support the channel and myself on Patreon as well. You don't have to, but it definitely helps and goes a long way in me doing more videos during the week and longer songs, you know, once a week at least. Anyways, let's jump into it though. So we'll be working our way through Jeremy Bender, The Crystal, The Only Way, Infinite Space, A Time and a Place, and Are You Ready, Eddie? Is that about Eddie Oxford? Didn't know either. Anyways, let's jump into it. This is Tarkus, Side 2 by ELP. All right, I'm gonna talk about every song before we move on to the next song. Since it's not one continuous song, we're just gonna make this one. You know, I feel like it's probably a little more interesting if I break it up little by little, so at least we're not listening to completely all the music at once, and then I'll forget a bunch of stuff afterwards. Anyways, I like how this immediately shows the comical side of ELP. You know, the first side, Tarkus, just armadillo tank. Take that as serious as it can be taken. This side, Jeremy Bender, I guess it was gender bender because he wanted to become a nun. Now, I think that he wanted to become a nun because he wanted to also be with the nuns. But regardless, funny story. Music. It sounds like bar piano, like bars blue piano, like we had gotten with Benny the Bouncer, like that whole same kind of style. So I like how we're getting a little bit of a lighter affair and a lighter mood as we move into side two of the album. I don't think that there's necessarily much out of this song, but it sounds good for what it is. I think Greg sounds really fantastic. Emerson sounds nice playing piano. I think it just works well for what it is. Jeremy Bender was a man of leisure, took his pleasure in the evening sun, laid him down in a bed of roses, finally decided to become a nun. Talked with his sister and spoke in a whisper, threatened to fist her if she didn't come clean. Jumped on the mother just like a brother, asked one another if the other's a queen. Now, we get a little bit of an interesting twist at the end. He says, digging the sister, she was a mister. Shouldn't have kissed her, but he couldn't say no. Wanted to leave her, couldn't believe her, so he picked up his suitcase and decided to go. So it seems to me that he's not the only infiltrator in there. So he dressed up as a nun to get into the where do nuns go? Not the nunnery. Nuns go to oh my god, what is it that nuns go to? Starts with C. I'm not gonna look it up. He wants to get in there, and then he finds someone else who's doing the exact same thing, and somehow they end up together. It's a sitcom for the ages. 2.5 Nuns. Let's move into the next song here on the album, The Crystal. Let's do it. Okay, how cool was that coming off of the bluesy piano, first of all, from the previous song and moving into this one? I like how they still kept that piano and they kept that same kind of tonality through it, but they led into something a lot more intense. Now, Palmer, he is steamrolling through this song. Like, here we get that boulder like crushing sense of density from Palmer's drumming. Like he comes in and he doesn't stop. I mean, he gives a few pauses here and there, but it's not for long. He is a bull in a china shop, as they would say, and he is breaking everything. You got something of value, crushing it. You got that nice little plate there in the case, demolished. That's what he feels like. But then Emerson, like I said, he's continuing that bluesy piano, but everything is turned up to 11. Especially Greg. Greg, he is delivering some ghostly, haunting, angry tones. He sounds aggressive. He sounds downright angry. He sounds like he mad. Now, I was listening to this and it sounds like something, honestly, I can't place it, but it sounds like something maybe off of Brain Salad Surgery. I'm not sure. But listen at the end of the song. Let me pull it up here. Like, you hear how aggressive he is. I think that Greg Lake is a very underrated vocalist. Like, extremely. I think a lot of people say, yeah, he sounds nice. Yeah, he's pleasant to listen to. But, I mean, when you listen to him singing the way he was right there, I mean, you have to give him props. You have to give him something. Because he is, like, exploding from his vocals, exploding from his throat, and putting everything he has into it, into the song. Now, when you're playing alongside people like Palmer or Emerson, who are just mountain-like in their figures and in their talents and in everything. I mean, you got to have the vocals to match it. And I think that Greg does an awesome job of either calming everything down with his soft and soothing vocals or raising the heat just a little bit higher with those aggressive vocal lines like we just heard in the end. I think that's fantastic. I think this song does a nice job between treading between things that we would say are classical ELP, such as sections like this, because that's cool. Like the bass as well, and then treading into more deviations from maybe their standard. Like this is just wild. Not Carnival 9 wild, because that I'm still trying to wrap my head around, but you know, it's pretty wild. Now getting into the lyrics on this one, the crystal knows how to twist all the lines. Fortune teller, future seller of time. Tortured spirits cry, fear is in their eyes, ghostly images die. Witch's potion mixed in the ocean of tears, mystical powers emerge from the towers of fear. Okay, so one, I mean, we're talking about a witch, a fortune teller, someone of that nature. And first of all, I like how it says, knows how to twist all the lines. So this could be taken, in my opinion, in a few ways. So twist all the lines, you know, anything that you're telling the fortune teller, they're twisting the lines so that they can make it seem like they're, you know, telling you whatever your future is going to be, whatever your destiny is, and all that kind of stuff. Or could be also twisting your palms. You know how they read like your palms and they read the lines in your palm? Could be twisting the meanings in there. Now, interestingly, it says tortured spirits cry, fear is in their eyes, ghostly images die. So it's almost like even like the dead and the spirits are scared of whatever this fortune teller is gonna say. So like everyone is just frightened of whatever they're gonna say. Evil learning, people burning, savage casting, no one lasting. Witchcraft, sadness, madness, turning their minds. It's just all witchy up in here. Ritual killings that swear in the shillings to be. Heretic priestess dwells on the weakness she sees. So she sees the weakness and she's taking advantage, perhaps, of it. She's a fortune teller. She's taking advantage of whatever she sees. Anyways, really nice and intense song. Let's move on to the next one in the album, which is The Only Way. Let's go. Okay. I know before I got to this song, a bunch of you in the comments were like, I hope that he lets those two go together. Because they're meant to go together. When I got to the end of The Only Way, I heard it fading right into it, and I was like, well, I'm listening to the whole side, so these two sounded like they were going to go together, so it just made sense to let them go. And as far as I can tell, they actually are meant to go together. So hopefully I did that right. Hopefully I haven't messed up anything else. I hope that this new idea of me splitting it up and talking about the songs isn't messing up any flow. But let's get into it, because I thought that this was the best part of, I don't want to say the album, but this was definitely a highlight thus far. These two tracks paired together. I like how The Only Way, how it sounds like a church song. It sounds like a song you would hear in a cathedral. Like just by the organ. Oh, love Emerson's organ playing, absolutely. I love how he switches it up throughout. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But then eventually Greg comes in, eventually Palmer comes in, like everyone eventually comes in. But the whole song starts off with this very like holy and righteous feeling, right? And I'm listening to it and I'm like, okay, this is probably based off of some, like church hymn or something like that. Just like they've been known to do with classical music, or like they did with Jerusalem. Songs like that. Like they've been known to take a classical piece of music and work it into their own meat grinder, come out with their own patty. So I was thinking that. But then as Greg was singing the lyrics, I'm like, nah, that's not a church hymn. But maybe the music itself is based off one. I'm going to see if I can find any information on that really quick, because I thought that was really lovely. It sets you up in a certain mood, and then Greg starts singing certain lyrics, and you're like, huh, I like that. It's kind of like, it's a nice contrast between the music and what he's singing about. Because while the music, like I said, sounds very like something you would hear in a church. On the other hand, you have Greg asking questions about God, questioning his existence and stuff like that. So I think that that's just a really cool contrast. That's to me kind of daring. Especially at that time, I would think that that's kind of daring. But I also think that they pulled it off wonderfully, because the music in here is great. like this is great. So as I mentioned before, organ playing, Emerson, this is beautiful. This is fantastic. I've recently personally been watching a lot of videos of people just playing organ, especially like in a cathedral, and I just find the instrument absolutely fascinating. I think it is one of the coolest things. I think to be able to hear one like at an actual cathedral is just like this big, overwhelming sound. And you still get that feeling even from Emerson, because wherever he is, however he's playing, he's going to overwhelm you with that sound. And then I love this glorious build-up here. This feels so beautiful. And at its climax, ooh, that deeper seed comes in and just kind of subverts the whole thing, which kind of acts like I said, like Greg in the song itself, because he's basically an atheist in a church. And he's out there questioning, like, well, why is this? Why this? Why that? Now, this isn't meant to start arguments or anything like that, but as I mentioned before, it's just a really cool contrast I think that they brought together musically and lyrically. I think it works really well. And Greg is even singing alongside with this hymn. He sounds so good. This is so good. I mean, I'm sorry to say it. I'm going to say it one more time, actually. It is so good. Sounds fantastic. Once again, as this part specifically moves into its climax after Greg has left the building, then we move into something completely different. Greg's still there, just on bass. And then we move into, this very jazzy and kind of classical little thing we got going on here. Don't you guys think that this is, absolutely beautiful? I think that is stunning. I love hearing Greg singing like this alongside with Emerson's piano playing, because they so perfectly complement each other. I think that Greg is able to leapfrog on every single little lily pad that Emerson's setting up melodically, and he gets across the road. He's playing Frogger, and he gets across the road. Then you know what he does? He comes on right back. And it's so easy. He doesn't take a misstep. He's not hit by any trucks or anything like that. He is just so melodically working so well with Emerson. I love it. And then, of course, Palmer, bringing in an intensity, but a certain kind of intensity here that's a lot more subtle. And as I mentioned with this piece, especially moving into the next one, Infinite Space Conclusion, it sounds very jazzy to me. Something like this could fit into one of John Coltrane's albums. listen to it. There's something there. And this is just a really sweet ending and conclusion to the last song and to the story musically that's been set up there. This is just infinite space. This is just the space left after. Now, if we get into the lyrics really quick on The Only Way, it says, people are stirred, moved by the word, kneel at a shrine, deceived by the wine. How was the earth conceived? Infinite space, is there such a place? You must believe in the human race. So don't believe all that other stuff out there. Believe in yourself. Believe in us. Believe in man. Can you believe God makes you breathe? Why did he lose 6 million Jews? And then he gets into a little piano solo there. He's like asking a quick question, and then he gets out on solos. Touched by the wings, fierce angel brings. Sad winter storm, gray autumn dawn. Who looks on life itself? Who lights your way? Only you can say, how can you just obey? Like blind faith, basically. How can you just obey blindly? Now, of course, this gets into a whole bunch of other stuff, which I'm not trying to get into. I'm just reading the lyrics here. Don't need the word now that you've heard. Don't be afraid. Man is man-made. Like I said, this is just bringing it all back to humanity. Trust in yourself, trust in man, trust in what you see, and, we'll take it from there. And when the hour comes, don't turn away. Face the light of day and do it your way. It's the only way, which is the title of the song, The Only Way. So he's saying the only way is what you have, what's in front of you. The only way is you. And then it moves on to the next song, which feels like, as he says, that hour coming. I would imagine that's representing death, maybe? I'm not 100% sure on that end. But like I said, this sounds great. This feels good, works perfectly well with the music. I think it has everything. So at the end of the day, he's really just saying, believe in yourself. That's it. All right, let's move into the next song, which is A Time and a Place. And the time is now, and the place is here. Let's do it. After the softness of the last one, they did not let you forget that they can go hard. Man, uh, I hate to say it again, but Emerson's organ, hard hitting. I love his use of the synth as well alongside it. It's just so cool. Then you got to talk about Greg. Once again, he brings those aggressive vocals back, and I imagine during a performance, after a while, he's like, "I need a cough drop. I need some honey tea." At the end of the show, he's backstage sipping on his tea. And then Palmer, I love how at the end, Palmer brings in this like furious tempo feel. Like he starts like speeding it up, and then he runs into that lead. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. And then you got Emerson going, wow, wow, with the organ. I made myself dizzy doing that. But this is just an intense burner of a song after a light one like the last one. I don't have much else to say on that. That one went quick. I felt like that was flash in the pan. That was like a firework. It burns brightly, but it burns quick. This part right here, Greg goes for the high note, Palmer gets in with a fill, and then the rips on the organ before they get back into that. That's just a nice deep riff there. I don't know. That's just a heavy song. That's a good, quick, and heavy song from the boys. The lyrics: there is a place, a time, and a space no one can trace, no one can trace. Somewhere a hill where things are still. Just rainwater spill, just rainwater spill. Sleep in a dream of buttermilk cream. You dance on a beam, dancing on a beam. Honestly, at this point, have no idea what it's about. Save me from this shallow land, take me out of temper's hand. Drag me from the burning sand, show me those that understand. Rest in a shade, no sound is made, where silence is played. Sound of silence played. So he's in a place where they really like Simon and Garfunkel. I am not exactly sure what this place is. I feel like there's a deep meaning here, and I'm not 100% sure what it is. No one can trace it. There's a hill where things are still, just rainwater spill. Drag me from the burning sand. Take me out of the place that he's currently in and bring him to this place, this kind of paradise place. I'm not sure on this one. I have no idea. Let's move on to the next song, Are You Ready, Eddie? If I'm taking a guess, I think that this one is going to be like just rapid tempo, fun, energetic, a little less serious, just judging by the name. Let's see what's going on. Let's finish out the album. Are you ready, Eddie? I knew it was going to be a totally not serious song like that. I knew it. From the title, like I said, I'm assuming, and I can read in a second, but I'm assuming this is based off of the producer, Eddie Alford. I only remembered him right now. I mean, we've been listening to a lot of music produced by him, but I was reading about Yes a little bit ago, and I remember the name there also. And I'm assuming that he's producing here as well. And looking over here, it looks like just making sure. Yes, it is about Eddie Alford, the producer. This seems just like a fun send-off track for him. A fun one to end the album. Just playing a little blues. Just a little bar time 12-bar blues. The lyrics are pretty funny in themselves. I like how they're asking him. It's like the band is asking him, "Are you ready, Eddie, to turn out rock and roll?" And we get a rock and roll blues song out of it. Are you ready to give me some of your soul? Because Eddie's gonna have to put his soul into this work as he has before. Are you ready to pull those faders down? Turn your Scully around. Eddie, with your 16 tracks, a bit of vibing is all it lacks. We just need your touch, Eddie. We just need your magic producer's touch in this song, in the album rather. And we're ready for you, but are you ready for us? And I would imagine at the end of the track, that's probably all of them in the studio just laughing it up. Just having a great time. Eddie's probably sitting there, he's like, y'all made some like great classics in this album, but what are you doing right now? It says on Wikipedia that this track was basically an impromptu jam, which was played in celebration of completing work on Tarkus. Yeah, so you just get that fun in the studio vibe, right? Like we heard at the end. They were just laughing it up, having a great time. I'm sure they're extremely happy that they finished the album, and afterwards it came out the way that I would imagine they wanted it to come out. And it sounded like they just had a great time. You know, it sounded like they just had a fun time recording it, putting their hearts and their souls into the music, and giving Eddie Alford one last little dedication, one last little memoir of the album. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed listening to side 2 alongside with me. I hope that you enjoyed me breaking up the songs a little more, because I was originally, and even when I first played the first song, I was just going to let it go the whole way through. But then I was thinking, it's not like one whole continuous piece. Might as well just break it up a little bit. Besides those two that I recognize in the middle, that they flow together. But otherwise, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you for spending some time with me here. Hope you enjoyed, like I said, the way that I split everything up. And that's kind of it for now over here. Don't forget, as we're listening to ELP, that our next subscriber goal, our next one, is 18K listening to their album Pictures at an exhibition. So hopefully we'll be listening to that soon. And for now, you guys are more than welcome to join me in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the album. Let me know if The Only Way and Infinite Space are the two best tracks on the album. I think they're pretty good. Or if you hate them, let me know as well. You can also follow me on Twitter if you're interested, and you can also support the channel on Patreon if you like. You don't have to, but as I've said before, it helps a lot, and it gives me a lot more time to make more content and more videos. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for spending time here on the videos, and I will hopefully talk to you tomorrow. And I say hopefully, not because I won't be here, but I hope that you're here. I hope that you're back, because I'm always here. I never leave this room. Anyways, have a fantastic day, guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.